Hello, everybody. It's Friday. That means it's time for another topic of the week. First things first, last week's topic, the why of the hobby. I was happy to see so many responses, and I was happy to see so many people have much of the same feelings that I do, right? To share their own personal stories. And I think that one of the things that makes this hobby challenging to get into is that it requires a lot of work and time and frankly money often. There are ways you can shortcut all that stuff, but all of them are present, right? It does take a significant cost to go buy the miniatures. It takes time to put them together and paint them. It takes work to get better at painting and stuff like that. It takes time to learn the rules, the complex interactions, to play on the table. It's a relatively long play experience vis-a-vis something like a card game or a board game. So the barrier of entry is always higher. But once you're here, I think there's almost a value to that. Like, I don't know that I like a huge barrier of entry around rules. The game already has so many barriers of entry. That's why I was happy to see sort of AOS be simplified the way it was. But I do like the idea that we've all gone through that same journey. There's something unifying and immediately sort of community building about that, right? Like, we've all had to go through these steps. We've all started from zero, not known how to paint, not known how to, what to do, what the armies were, how things worked, how things interacted, and we all learned together over time. And I think there's something about that that's, if I put on my corporate hat, that's great. That's a huge amount of stickiness because people have a lot of investment into it emotionally. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's actually a really great thing because, like I said, it presents this sort of shared experience. We didn't just all start 5 minutes ago and you're there. It's a long road that we've all walked down some distance together, right? Exactly how far each of us has walked is different. That's our own story. But I'm fascinated by the fact that we've all walked it together. So I think that's really cool. This week's topic, though. This week, since I'll be at Adepticon next week, and I don't know what I'll be able to do for videos, this week's topic is about Khorne, since the Khorne book is coming out. I am very excited about this. I have a Khorne army. I don't play it very often, but I get a couple games in with it a year. It's not one of my main armies. I built an all-female Khorne demon army, and then I added some of the, bloodbound stuff, which are dudes. So I have, female bloodthirsters and bloodletters and stuff like that. And but I like my Khorne army a lot. It's fun to play every so often. And so I'm always happy to see new rules come out for an army I've already got. Can't complain about that. And when I look through the new rules, and if you have, when you're watching this, the book may or may not already be in your hands, depending on where you are in the world. But the thing I really like about it is some of the sort of auto-includes that were there in the past aren't as strong now. I think there's more interesting units. There's a lot of things that I think about having cool interactions now that maybe weren't there before. So I like a lot of what I've seen. I'm pretty excited about it. I think there's some really good looking stuff in this. I think some of the, I don't know what we want to call them, their chamber equivalents, I always say. That's not what they're called, but I can't keep everything straight. Which one's an enclave and which one's a grand court and you know what I'm saying. I think some of those look really interesting. All in all, I was actually really happy with the redesign. It brought everything in line. I felt like it gave a lot of interesting options. But none of it really, screamed at me initially that I saw a big problem with it. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? I've only looked at it initially, and we'll do a full breakdown of it on the show in 2 weeks once I have a chance to really go at it. But I'm very excited. I love the very strong anti-magic vibe. It's always been part of Khorne. Khorne's always hated magic. And I love that feels like really, really brought to the fore in this book, which I think is cool. I think the only thing I'm sad about, out of everything that I read, the only thing that I felt was a real miss was the change to Wrathmongers. I did love how Wrathmongers worked, the way they made your units attack themselves. I just thought that was the most fun, weird, unique interaction. I like every army to have a couple units that are just truly unique. Like, they do a thing that almost no one else does. So pulls are a good example, right? Where you can like pull somebody to you. There are very few pulls in the game. There are a few, but there are not many. Being able to like control the positioning of the enemy to scorpion them is a really unique and extremely powerful ability in a movement based game, right? So I like stuff like that, and the Wrathmonger ability was super unique, super characterful. Now when they die, they deal some mortal wounds. Okay, that's more boring. Now, the flip side is a lot of other things did get other stuff now, and you can build on all of this in interesting ways. So, I mean, I'm not sad about it. Like, the options are expanded. There's a lot more cool things to do overall. So, I mean, it's a net gain, to be very clear. At least, again, personal, early take, first blush from having looked things over. But I'm excited for it. Now that we've done 3 Khorne books, can we get our Slaanesh book now? I'm just saying. But what do you think about Khorne? I'm never sad about when other people get books. I see that a lot, by the way. A thing of like, oh, I can't believe X is getting a book and I'm not getting my book. Okay. Like, your book will come, my book will come, you know. I waited for Skaven for more than 10 years. I got my book. It was great. Things will happen. It's fine. I don't begrudge somebody else getting fun toys for them because there's a lot of people who love that army and now they get a book. So cool. I'm happy for them. And because it's not like my main army, so I don't count myself amongst the host of Khorne. Obviously, my heart belongs to Slaanesh, but it's important to have both sides so that way I can put both on the table if I need to. At any rate, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be cool. I think it'll let the army play honestly quite differently sometimes than it used to, which I think is really cool. Because it was a very sometimes difficult army to play before, and I think this does expand some options for them. So that's my thoughts. But what are yours? What's your take on the new Khorne book? As always, drop your comments down below. Tell me what you think. If you want to make a response video, do that. Drop that in the comments, and I will link that in the description as well. Down there in the description, you can find the link to last week's topic, which is the why of Warhammer. So, as always, appreciate you watching this one. We'll see you next time.